AJ, I want to close our time by talking about another topic that I know is dear to your heart. It's You talk about making complex things simple for the business. This is a complex topic. Everyone is searching for simpler solutions to it, and it touches on your past in the military. I know you're passionate about working with veterans. I'd love to hear more about it, and it intersects with mental health. And I can speak firsthand as a person whose family's been impacted by mental health. Um, what's in your heart regarding some of the nonprofit work that you're looking to do in the future? And
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that and how that connects back to what you told us earlier with wanting to make an impact, wanting to make a legacy, that you have a story and a set of skills, but who is it for
Right.
and why am I here?
So I got involved and really passionate about helping supporting veterans whenever I found out that the statistic that 22 veterans commit suicide every day. And in talking with people and doing more digging into it, a lot of people think that that number is a little bit low. But when I looked at it, it was like 22 veterans, 22 of my brothers and sisters are committing suicide every day. And it was like heartbreaking. I was like, why? And so I started to look back at my own journey. Whenever I transitioned out of the military, it was a rough transition. And more veterans I've talked to, they said the exact same thing. And when you transition out, you lose a lot of stuff that you don't realize that you're losing. The first thing you that I realized that I lost was I lost my identity and sense of purpose. In the uniform, I was part of something bigger than myself. This ideation of protecting and promoting democracy, and protecting it against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And so I'm part of this big ideology. Out of the uniform, I was just AJ, and I didn't know who that was. So I didn't know what my purpose was. What was my reasoning for being in this world outside? Now that I went from this big thing to now I'm just AJ and I don't know where I fit. The second thing that I lost was I lost my community.
Mm,
When you're in service, and I don't care what branch you're in, you're surrounded 24/7, 365 by people that think and function the same way that you do. We may not always get along, and it's a unique dynamic that I try to explain to people. Is like, we could hate each other, but I knew that when it was time to go to work, that I could trust you to do your job and protect my life, and you could trust me to do the exact same
right.
thing, because the mission came first. Everybody coming home came second, and then we can go back to our petty squabbles after that. But those two things superseded everything else.
Mm,
And you get out of out of the military, out of that environment into the civilian world where you don't have any of that. And so I went back home and it was just like, okay, I don't fit in here because the people that I used to hang out with, I'm a different person now. I look at things differently. And so it was a struggle. And the next thing you know, you find yourself on this island of trying to figure this stuff out by yourself because you're a different person. You're trying to find out what your identity is. And, that's when depression starts to creep in, and it's one of those things where whenever I got out and transitioned out of the military, I wasn't depressed. I was excited about the next chapter. Like, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do
yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
wasn't until 8, 9 months down the line where none of the things that I thought were going to happen actually happened. That's whenever I started having those doubts of, well, what is life all about? So going back to how do we solve this problem? How can we get them gainfully employed? Or if you've got an idea, how do we help you turn that into a business? So financial issues, how do we address the financial issues? Because financial stress and strain, we know even as civilians, will kill relationships and kill people. I mean, it's the number one reasons why people get divorced: financial stress and strain. So how do we address that so they can provide for themselves and their family? The second thing that we look to address is how do we provide a community to where they feel like they've never left their uniform, where they've got their brothers and sisters that they can come to and say,
That's right.
hey, we relate to each other and this is what I'm struggling with. So that you're not on this island trying to figure it out on your own, because a lot of people don't realize Ohio has the fifth largest veteran population in the country. The fifth
Wow.
largest veteran population. That means that there's hundreds of thousands of veterans, service members that have already transitioned and found success outside of the uniform. Why aren't we doing more together to reach back and help those that are transitioning out to make sure that they don't hit the same stumbling blocks that we hit? That's been my question. That's now my when we talk
Yeah.
about impact and
Yeah.
legacy, now that's something that I can move because I know how to do that. I've already walked the path. in that thought process, in that vein, a group of us are starting and standing up an Ohio Veteran Chamber of Commerce, where we can be that centralized hub where if you're a transitioning service member, we want you to connect to us and say, hey, look, this is where you're at. Fantastic.
That's
We're
right.
going to help you find gainful employment. If you've got an idea, we're going to help you start a business. And at the same time, here's the community that you can plug into so that you're not doing this on your own.
Today, we honor our service members. Every untold story is opportunity. Be an open book. To connect with a like-minded community of veterans and entrepreneurs, go to ajayorr.com/veteran services. To view the full interview with AJ, tune in via this YouTube channel next Friday, November 18th, as our Founders Series continues. This content was made possible by a Columbus partnership of Sudden Impact, Roth Advisory, Big Kitty Labs, and Sing Creative.